People. But welcome to tonight's call. We have a very special guest. But before we get into that, I've got to do the Success Club plug. We've got, let's see, today's the 18th, so the math, how many days? Until the 31st to hit Success Club. So plenty of time left. Obviously, it's a cup month, so you want to do as much as you possibly can to win those awesome prizes and just pump each other up to hit Success Club. And let's see, make sure everybody's muted. There's no background noise. Other than that, I mean, we're all doing pretty well. I know it's August is kind of a tough month with everybody going back to school and that sort of thing, but keep on keeping on and you will completely do it. So, all right. So I'm not going to continue rambling since I ramble normally during the week. I'm going to introduce our guest. All right, Mr. Judd Welte. All right, I have to actually read off all of these kudos because because there's so many of them that I can't remember them all. So this guy, rock star, is a husband, a father of 3, 17-year-old, 9-year-old, 5-year-old. This guy has 3 business centers. So what happens is once you hit 2-star diamond, you are entitled basically to open up a second business center and so on and so forth. His first business center is at 10-star diamond, which is a huge deal. His second business center is 2-star. Is that correct?
That's right.
2-star. And your third business center is diamond, which, hello, is that crazy? Pretty crazy. Okay. He is a Success Club 10 All-Star, which we know is a big deal. He's an off-road enthusiast. He loves camping, water sports, and he has real estate, mortgage background. And in September, will mark his 5-year anniversary as a coach. So without further ado, I'm going to let him take it away, and I'm going to shut up.
Hey, that's my line on my team. So I'm always the one that's talking way too much no, but hey, thank you guys for having me on the call. I love this stuff. This is getting to see a bunch of awesome people that are here that are really you're here for a reason, and I know I'm here for a reason, and it's I love learning from others. So Natalie, thank you for for welcoming me on the call. Those things that she said, ranks and all those things, rank does not determine leadership. You know what I mean? So in my eyes, on our team, those that take action, those that are plugged in, those that are really working towards the goals of helping others, that's leadership in my eyes. You know what I mean? So, but as you build those things that you hear about, those accolades grow. So by taking action. So a little of my story. I was the non-believer ego guy that worked out in the gym, that thought I knew it all. And how many people know those kind of guys? So I was that guy. I was the guy that laughed at P90X on TV. I was the guy that always thought it was fake. So I mean, we come into a contact with a lot of people like that. That really look at this stuff and just go, you're in that shake business, or you're in that P90X business, or that PX90 business. So I mean, I was that guy, and then, really without knowing I was that guy, right? It just wasn't educated enough on this stuff. But, my first experience in the business, a buddy of mine, my coach, I ran into him at gymnastics where our kids did gymnastics, got in the conversation with him. He formed me. I don't know if you guys know, he totally formed me on what I've been up to, what I've been doing, what's been, how's my life, blah, blah, blah. We were like really good friends back in the day, and hadn't seen him in 10 years. So I, of course, being the type of person I am, I'm just like, let's catch up. Let's go have lunch. Come to my house, And so he came over, we got in a conversation about it and about just life. And I asked the classic question, what are you doing now? And because he asked me all about me. So I told him all about me because people love talking about themselves. Right. And so I asked him, and he said he was coaching people all from all over the world and helping people get results with their fitness. And he knew that I had always kind of had a love for fitness. I've never been overweight. I've been out of shape, but I've never been, I don't have that kind of story. I don't have that kind of backstory of amazing transformation, losing a bunch of weight. Right. And so his story was, he told me a little of his story. He told me some of his friends' stories in the business. And it just totally interests me, So then he introduced me to Shakeology because he knows I was a protein drinking, weight gainer shake drinking, supplement eating guy. You know what I mean? So, and so, what he told me about it interests me. So he goes, hey, I just happen to have some. I'll make you one. And he was at my house. So he made me one. And I was like, wow, that stuff's good. And it has all that stuff in it. I didn't say stuff, but I said that stuff, it was just really, so being that my mom has lupus and fibromyalgia and rheumatoid arthritis at that time for about 20 years, I had been to so many doctor's appointments with her. And I knew a lot about what medication. She was on like $800 a month in medication. And so I immediately get the bag and flip it over. And so I immediately identified with some of the ingredients that her herbalist and her different doctors, that her health doctors, not her lupus doctors, were telling her to try. And so I immediately called my mom. I thought of my mom first, called my mom, told her, said, hey, you remember Mike? You remember, oh yeah, and I said, well, something that here to check out. And kind of fast forward, I bought 3 bags of it that day. Didn't sign to be a coach. And I just bought, he had some extra bags. So I bought 3 of them retail from him. And I took them directly about 1.5 miles to my parents' house. And my mom, a little backstory on my mom, when I was younger, she was the bikini mom. She was the mom. We were always traveling. We were always going my parents loved to go to Mexico. So we always went to Mexico, Baja. And she was the one that was always able to wear a 2-piece bathing suit, and aerobics classes and all those kinds of things. Right. To fast forward, 20 years of lupus and fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, some days bedridden, so this part of the story it's always kind of hard to talk about right there. That part of the story, my mom, I made her a shake, and I'm just going to fast forward through this so I don't have to talk for 2 hours about it. I made her a shake. She goes, oh, that's healthy. And I said, yeah, it's supposed to be really healthy, and it's got all this good stuff in it, and it's supposed to be whole food and this kind of thing. And so I said, if you drink these once a day, it's all you have to do. So anyway, she took it to her doctor. Her doctor didn't know anything about it. Said, it just looks like whole food, so you might as well just keep drinking it. Fast forward about, and I have my little cheat sheet here that I wrote up. So fast forward about 2 months, or about 1.5 months, my dad calls me and says, hey, what did you give mom? And I said, well, why? And he says, well, she just kind of got a little more pep in her step. And I said, oh, okay. I gave her the shake thing, and that's, she's trying it out. I still hadn't drinking any of it. That one that he made me that day, that was just, my main concern was her. And I didn't, everything Mike told me was kind of in one ear, out the other about the business. I didn't hear any of it. Right. 2 months goes by. My dad calls me. Mom is outside. He picks up the phone. I say, hey, Dad, what's going on? And he goes, Mom is outside washing down the backyard. And I said, whatever. She is not. And he goes, and so I had to drive over there and just kind of peek around and saw my mom washing down. She hadn't washed down in at least 15 to 18 years at that time. Just because she just, she had no energy, swelling of the legs, swelling of all the joints. Just really, my mom was, her immune system was shot. 3 months goes by, which was the last bag. And my dad calls me, and I go see my parents all the time. But I mean, these were the little tiny things that meant nothing to anybody else, but it meant everything to us. And my dad calls me back and says, she's vacuuming. And I think of my dad just being my dad. He's kind of comical in that end. And so we had these little things, the vacuuming, the washing down, and that prompted me to talk to my mom. I said, hey, I said, do you realize what you've been doing lately? And she said, I've just been feeling good. And so she goes to the doctor pretty frequently at that time. And he goes, my doctors have been backing me down on medications, and they've been, just all these little things were adding up. Right. So I call my buddy Mike back, and I say, look, dude, you got to come back over to my house and re-explain all of this stuff to me, because what's happening with my mom, I cannot deny. And we haven't done anything except add this, and I said at the time, stupid little shake into her, her diet. And I said, so, he goes, I said, she's lost like 10 pounds. She's, all of these things added up. And so he came back over like that day. And so at that time I signed up to be a coach, and he goes, this company? And I said, I do. I know this company. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I'm sure you see the infomercials on TV. And I said, the infomercials what are you talking about? He goes, the P90X, the Insanity. And I said, oh Lord, this company owns that fake. I said, are you serious? I said, this is what I'm joining. I was pissed. I was just like, are you kidding me? But then I kept thinking back to my mom. I can't deny what my mom just went through the last 3 months by changing one simple thing, but I was just like beside myself, because I was that guy then, you know what I mean? I just didn't believe any of it. I didn't want to. And so fast forward, my belief factor with my mom, with my buddy Mike, his success that I had seen a little bit of, being home with his kids. I was working like a dog in my businesses that I was in. I was always gone. I had those things to kind of grasp onto that, that at that time was a big deal to me. So I ran. I was one of those ones out of the gate because my belief was so high because of my mom. All I had was my mom. I had nothing on me. I ordered at that time, we didn't have challenge packs. We didn't have anything. So we had no trainings. And so I joined as a coach, and I paid the $40 fee and the Shakeology fee at the time. And Mike, I said, hey, how do we do this? What's the trick, And as I had never done anything like this in my entire life, and he goes, there's an event in Las Vegas. I lived in Bakersfield, California at the time, so about a 4.5 hour drive. He goes, there's an event in Las Vegas this weekend. And mind you, it was like Friday after morning that he came over. Thursday or Friday morning, and it was like the next day. Like if we were gonna go, we were gonna go. My wife had just had Brody, who is now 5, and so we had a pretty newborn baby at the time. And I looked at my wife, and Mike's looking at her, going, "Is she gonna?" And I said, "I don't know." I said, "She goes, do you think it's worth going and checking out?" I said, "I can't deny my mom's results." I said, "We got Mike, my buddy, sitting here." I said, it's something that could be. And so anyways, we flew to Vegas. We drove. We didn't fly. We drove, but we flew. And I went to a Pete Pena's event. At the time, it was called an SOS event. And I got to see people walk across the stage and hear people that I related to that had a very similar story. And from that point on, I just have not looked back, And so, and so after that, fit clubs. So Mike had a little tiny fit club with about 15 people a week coming, and I got involved in that. And we just together, we were each other's success partner. That's kind of, we didn't know at the time, because I don't think people talked about him 5 years ago, but that was something that him and we brainstormed together all the time. And we built this fit club up to where it was over 250 people every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. And that was our mission, was to get our coaches to duplicate our efforts, right? That's the main thing with this business, is duplication. So we started fit clubs all over town on different days of the week than our own. And we showed our coaches how to do that. simple. It brings people to you, and you get to connect with others in your community. So that's one thing that we did. But after that, it was all for me about, I had the belief. It was about getting to an event. We had a fit club. After I signed up to be a coach, Mike had that fit club that had like 15 people, and it was literally like the same 15 people coming every week. And I went to it every single Tuesday night at 7 p.m. to watch the video, to watch the business opportunity, the same thing, all the time. And I was getting laughed at by some of my friends that are going like, you're going to the same thing every Tuesday night. I said, yeah, but every time I watch these videos they play, I learn something new. I hear something different. I hear these stories, these people that are speaking. And I said, I get something different from it each time. And so it was those kinds of activities that I knew I had to do to really truly learn, to go all in, to build. And so, when I took off like that, I immediately, started going up the ranks. And this is a time too, guys, where, we don't have the amazing trainings, our team trainings, the team, I'm sure like the trainings you guys have, the corporate trainings, there was nothing. There was really nothing there. They were developing it, and we were all part of developing it. But I mean, there was really nothing that was like, solid. It was always moving and changing. So I mean, I hit 3-star in 3 months, 5-star in 5 months, 10-star in 15 months of being in business. Not having an absolute clue. When I was at 5-star diamond, they added me to the wall page, which is a private page on Facebook that I'm sure Natalie may talk about. Some, I didn't know what it was. There was like 25 people in there, and it was just, and I wasn't making any money hardly at the time, because at that point we couldn't build volume like we can nowadays. You know what I mean? Because we didn't have the tools, we didn't have the challenge packs, we didn't have the volume generators, is what I like to call them. And so as I'm building this thing so fast, I didn't know how to keep coaches. I had no idea. So I mean, I was losing rides. I was gaining 20 coaches and losing 20 coaches. I'm like, hey, wait a second, well, you're leaving. It was really a chaotic time in the business. It was a lot of highs and a lot of lows. And so what I had to, I'm kind of skipping around here, but what I had to do was I had to figure out a system for myself, for my own coaches, for my own team. And so having a system, and then I had to read a lot of personal development. Actually, I read it in the beginning, and then I actually switched over to audio, which was much easier for me. And you can find literally everybody on YouTube for free. You know what I mean? So that was something that was a huge deal for me, because as I'm working out in the gym, or doing my cardio in the gym on the stairs, I would have my phone with YouTube on, and that's how I learned how to use YouTube. I learned how to use YouTube from YouTube. And so, I was on there on the stairs sweating away for, 40 minutes. And I would type in there, how do I write a description for my YouTube video? How do I write how do I tag my video on YouTube? I mean, I literally did all those things on YouTube so I could learn it, and then same thing with Facebook. I mean, when I came into this, I wasn't on Facebook. There was no Facebook. I mean, there was Facebook. My wife had made me an account. But I was like, she goes, you should start using that thing. I'm like, well, what do you do? She goes, I don't know, post something. So it's just, so you don't have to be, a social media rock star to build this business. It helps now, of course, but you can learn all those things, on YouTube. If you don't like what you're doing now, you can always improve on it because of that. But I tell you what kept me going, and it kept me fired up, is I went through I went from 10-star to like 4-star, and then I'd go to like 5-star, and then I'd go down to 2-star. I mean, it was just like head explosion, you know what I mean? Because you're losing rank, and you're thinking you're failing, and you're thinking you're, going crazy. Well, I knew I believed, you know what I mean? I believed in what I was doing. I was helping people. I just had to figure out how to keep them. And my biggest mistakes that I hope none of you have to experience, or will stop experiencing, are when you sign up a discount coach. because technically that person's a customer, right? But discount coaches are important for your business, big time. And so, but you still treat them, you still help them get results. You still stay in contact with them. Those are some of the things that I didn't do back in the day. And that's why I had so many coaches coming and going, because I would take care of my coaches that were working the business, right? And then all my discount coaches, which we had a ton back in the day, because that's when people were connecting with you. We were just signing up so many people so fast. So it was at these fit clubs. So my big advice to you guys is treat everybody like a customer. No matter if they're a brand new coach you signed up today, you help them get results with whatever package they bought, because no matter what, if they're a discount coach, you never know if that's your next rock star coach. You help them get results and their whole world changes. Everybody around them is going to see them a little differently because of what they're doing. So big tip there, because that's absolutely changed my business. I haven't changed my verbiage on inviting people. You know what I mean? So I still invite everybody. I let them know about the coach discount, and knowing that if they sign up to be a coach, even though they want results, because I want them to understand that they can save a few bucks, I'm still going to treat them the same way no matter what they do. You know what I mean? I'm going to help them get the results. They're going to get results, and I know what's going to happen at that point. I know that their circle of influence is going to see them, and they're going to go, "What are you doing? Like, holy cow, you look great," or whatever it is. They can't stop that from happening if I coach them. And that's really one of the biggest things that we changed in our business, which then made our team stick and then grow. We just continue to duplicate that part. And so I think that's a big miss with people on every team, is that we have coaches that don't get that little piece of information, and they sign up a discount coach and they go, "Oh, okay, well, they don't want to work the business, so I'll just stick them in one of my groups, and they're going to do their workout and they're going to drink their shake every day." Well, not if they're not motivated to, and not if they're not held accountable to. So big deal there. And so fast forward, we have been a coach almost 5 years now, and I tell you what, it has changed our life. It's changed our city that we live in. We got to move from our desert dirt hole town of Bakersfield, where we've grown up. Now we live on the beach in Huntington Beach, California. That's something that my family's dreamt about for years, even before Beachbody. So and it's really because our team, the culture of our team, everybody, we really work together. We're like a family, you know what I mean? And we've really created that culture on our team to help everybody, you know what I mean? No matter what. And so, but the big part of my story is that, had I not had my coach hold me accountable, had I not, held my mom accountable, I would have never had the belief that any of this was possible. You know what I mean? Because couple parts of my story that I left out was I drove to my mom's house for the first 2.5 weeks, making her shake for her to make sure she would drink it. That was a big deal, because I knew she wasn't going to get out of bed and make the shake. I knew it. So I drove, and then, my first round of P90X was with my mom. My mom asked me, she came to one of my events when I hit 3-star diamond after about 3.5 months. And my mom I said, "Hey, come with me, Mom," because I want to, at this time, my wife wasn't really involved yet. And so I said, "Hey, Mom, come with me." And I said, "I think I'm going to get some recognition. You'll get to meet some people that drink Shakeology, and that, and you'll get to, see some stuff." And so she came, she got to talk to a bunch of people that have lost like 100 pounds. My mom needed to lose about 35, 40 pounds. And after the event, it was over. She goes, "Hey," she goes, "I met so-and-so. They had a lot more weight to lose than I do." And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "They all did P90X." And I'm like, "Okay." And she goes, "I want to do P90X." And I was like, "You do?" And at this time, my mom had came a long way. You know what I mean? My mom had came a ton to, you know, having the energy to even go to the event. I mean, that was something that she just would have had, you know? And so for her to ask me to work out with her, or for her to tell me that she wanted to do P90X, and me at that time knowing more about P90X than I did when I first started, I said, you know what? I can't let you do it alone. So I'll do it with you. So for 90 days, I drove to her house and we did P90X together. And, you know, she lost like 36 pounds. I saw my abs for the first time in 90 days, which totally pissed me off, because in all the years of working out, I'd never seen my abs, you know? And so another what that brings up is another part of my failing part of my story, is that I never shared my results from P90X. I never shared my journey on P90X with my mom. I have pictures, 5 or 10 pictures. I never shared. I made a few videos for my mom a long time ago on YouTube, that a lot of people use and share, about lupus and fibromyalgia and all those types of things. But I didn't do it right because I didn't share while I was on that journey, you know, with my mom. And that, knowing what I know now, knowing, you know, being a seasoned coach and having a successful business, helping a lot of people, I mean, that is something that I look back on and go, wow, what a miss. So, I mean, you guys, you know, share away, be vulnerable, do all those things, because I mean, the only reason that I didn't do those things then is because my ego was so big that I thought, oh, I'm going to get this rockin' awesome body and then I'm going to share it. And then everybody's going to want me to coach them. Well, it didn't happen that way. And, you know, it was just something that I see a lot of people, you know, especially guys that I have a big guy network that comes to me, and that none of them wants to show pictures until they're done. You know what I mean? And so I have to tell that part of the story. And it's so true. We all have, so many guys have egos to get past, and and I was one of them. And in the business, you know, sharing while you're on your journey that's the most important part of it. You know, people love seeing your after pictures, but you're during, while you're in the trenches, while you're doing the work, that's what's going to attract people, because you're showing them that you're leading by example. And that's what I didn't do in the beginning. And it made for my job then that much more difficult. If I didn't have the fit clubs rocking, then with that face-to-face interaction of people, I would have not had, you know, any business really. And so, so that's something that was pretty important. And then, you know, like I said before, developing a system, you know, I'm sure you guys have, you know, something that you guys all do. What we really wanted to create on our team was like kind of like a language, you know, like what do you do when you sign up a new coach? You know, what do you do? You know, what are the steps? And so like our steps was, okay, sign up a new coach. We're going to let them know that they're going to get a new coach welcome email from the sponsoring coach. You're going to be added to our team page. You're going to be recognized and introduced. You're going to be put in our new coach boot camp. That's a go at your own pace. And then the most important part, we're going to then work together, and we're going to start an accountability or challenge group together for the new coach. Those steps, those actions, are some of the things that literally have exploded our business, because now we have so many of our leaders teaching their leaders that exact process, you know, and it's, you can see how simple that can be. And so it was just duplicating those things, so we knew if we did it, it was be good. Right. But then if we can get 100 other people doing it, wow, that could be a big deal, you know, or even 20 people, you know what I mean? In the beginning, I think it was like 3. So taking action that way was pretty important. But yeah, I mean, you know, it all starts with you and having belief in what you're doing and consistently doing it. Because if you don't consistently do any of this stuff, if you don't consistently post or share on social media, your social media is just not going to go anywhere. If you don't, you know, same thing with YouTube. If you're not going to make, you know, consistent videos on YouTube, well, it's just going to be a storage facility for your videos. You know, so make sure that, you know, anything that you're doing with this is something that you are taking action on every day and reaching out to people every single day, because the only thing people can tell you is no. And you know, that just means not right now. So put them on your list and keep reaching out to others. Because that's the simplicity of this business, and having the belief in it that you guys all have an upline coach that's rocking it. You guys all have, other coaches that you see in the network. The only thing that sets off a top ranking, top earning coach in this business is consistent effort and consistent work. We're duplicating those efforts and then being able to teach that to their team. Not everybody's going to do it, but those that do, it's pretty evident on what, you see them grow, so, and I know that's not the cool thing to say, or that's just the true nuts and bolts of this business, of what works. I've had huge failure in this business. I know exactly what to show you not to do. And nobody can say, I tell people all the time, like, when you're building, who here has lost rank before, hey, we all have, and so it's just kind of part of the business, especially if you're a newer diamond or a newer emerald or a newer star diamond. That means you're super lean on your team, which, okay, there's a possibility, you hope it never happens, but you keep going. You don't stop, because you have to be in the trenches, and you have to continue to build for this to grow and to get to be a strong diamond or a strong star diamond. A lot of us have been through that, and I tell you what, personal development, if it wasn't there for me, I would have. I'll tell you, in the beginning, I wanted to quit 100 times, and I kept looking at my kids, and I kept looking at my wife, and I kept looking at my coach, and going, "Gosh, I can't quit because of my kids. I can't quit because I know my wife. There's no way I'm not a quitter." And I look at my coach, and he has the lifestyle that I want. He's home with his kids. He's traveling with his kids. He's doing these things. And I look at some other friends of mine in the business at the time that I got to meet, and they're doing the same thing. And I'm going, if they can do it, I can do it. I just have to continue to work and get better, and to continue to feed my brain so I continue to grow as a coach. And that's truly what's gotten us to where we're at today, is that mindset of never giving up and continuing to be coachable. I'm coachable today. I mean, I love hearing other coaches speak and learn and brainstorm. That's why an accountability partner for each and every one of you. I don't care if you're a brand new coach today, it doesn't matter. Accountability partner, you guys will figure it out. Set a plan and go after it, and don't look back. Don't look back, because everything is there for us. And I can tell you right now, the opportunities that are in front of us that are coming, the programs, the releases that are coming out. I have been afforded the opportunity to be in some things. I was never the fitness guy. I was never. I was the railroader, real estate guy. So I was a conductor on the railroad, wearing the overalls and the big boots and all that kind of stuff. Going across, driving trains, and being away from my family 2-3 days at a time. And then, I was in real estate. So, I mean, I traveled everywhere for real estate, and it was, so I was never I was a gym rat, but I didn't look like one. And so my point with that is that, the lifestyle is what I was wanting, because it wasn't necessarily financial for myself. And, although I wanted the financial freedom like they had and that they were getting, I wanted the time home with my kids. I've got, like I said, my 17-year-old, he's a senior this year in high school. And I remember missing, the first parts, so many things that you miss when you're traveling, when you're working, right? I missed a lot, and I promised, I just promised my youngest kids, no matter what I do, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. And so that was, for me, my mindset. That was my driving factor. And I mean, thank God I didn't quit. Thank God I didn't do the things that I probably would have quit had it not been for personal development, So I cannot stress that on you guys enough. You guys should all be like knee deep in a book in audio every day, at least 10, 15 minutes. I'm telling you. I mean, we all have time. We just make it. We have to make it, and but it's that important because there's going to be times in this business where you're down or someone tells you no and you take it the wrong way, or, or everybody tells you no that day or that week. Right. And we've all been there, and it's like, gosh, do I just suck at this or what? And that's where, the personal development, your mind automatically just starts to, remember what you read or what you listened to. And that's a good time to also go back to your accountability partner, your success partner, and say, hey, this is what I've been doing this last week, and man, this is not working. Revisit those steps because it's all tweakable. It's like nutrition. You continue to tweak your nutrition, and you'll continue to get results. It's like a workout program. I tell people all the time, hey, you got Body Beast. All right, you're going to suck in the beginning, but you're going to get so good at this at the end. I can't wait, because you're going to get great results. You set the expectation that, hey, you're not going to be great at this in the beginning. Same thing with the business. I was good at recruiting people, right? But I was terrible at the business in the beginning. Absolutely horrific. And, that's okay. I still made it. I'm still making it. You just got to keep going. So, I know I absolutely jumped around all over the place with this, but that's just kind of the way I am, and I hope you guys got a few nuggets out of it. But that's about all I got, Natalie.
Wow, that was awesome. That was awesome. I'm gonna replay it once I get off the call.
You're probably gonna need to, as I jumped around so much, and I'm looking at my list here, going, I didn't follow it.
No, I usually like to take notes, and I didn't, so I'm gonna go back and do that. But does anybody have any questions? I'm sure somebody does. Okay, I knew somebody would. All right, I'm gonna unmute you, Jen.
That was awesome. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I was actually just wondering how your mom was doing.
My mom is she's medication free. She's been medication free. I've been a coach 5 years next month, so she's been medication free about 4 years now. Still has her of course, after the P90X round, she did another round, and she did it completely modified. Of course, right? I didn't talk about that, but she did it completely modified. She's done Insanity. She's done a bunch of programs. She's not super fit. She's not, but I got my mom back. That was my whole thing. My mom is traveling with my dad. I mean, they're, they come down here all the time. They have a place down here. I mean, my mom wasn't able to really leave the house for so many years because she just hurt so bad. You know what I mean? And then the medication she was on just made her a different person, really, And so taking her through this process, starting with Shakeology and making her drink it no matter if she wanted to or not that day, you're drinking this. That's what I told her. I mean, it was like, and because of what her doctor was saying was happening, that made me more amped to make sure, okay, you're going to continue this stuff. I mean, it's just, I'll buy it. I'll continue to buy it for you. I don't care. It was one of those things. And then she started to love it, because her body started to change. And her medication, they started weaning her off the medication. And then after P90X, and then we started tweaking her nutrition a little bit, because we didn't really follow the nutrition plan while doing it our first round, like most people, and so we just did it, and it gave me my mom back. So she's doing great. Has her ups and downs. It's been in remission for quite a long time. But just like anybody, she's got her good days and bad days. You know what I mean? But she's doing well. She's definitely good.
That's amazing. It really, really is. Okay. Anybody else?
Don't hold back. Come on. Don't hold back.
We have a very awesome brain here to pick. So, anybody?
I think the big thing too is that to remember to never, I mean, I know you guys probably hear this all the time, but I used to judge people all the time, and I'm just being honest. I would just don't judge anybody when it comes to this business. I'm talking about the business. Of course, you have to help people and figure out what programs are right for them and nutrition and all that. But when it comes to the business, I treat everybody like they're going to be, I give everybody the benefit of the doubt to do the business, which means offering the discount, offering, the team, because when I talk about the business, this is something that I think a lot of people miss. Like, you guys have an awesome team. We have an awesome team. And when I'm talking to somebody about, making changes in their body because maybe they need to lose a bunch of weight or they need, support or whatever it may be, I let them know our team is all about, that's what our team's about. It's about support. It's about helping each other. It's about growing together. And who doesn't want a discount while doing that, and so that kind of gets their mind kind of around the team aspect. And it's just really worked well for our team to really promote our team and the aspect of having all of that, having all these people have your back from all over the country to support you. And so that's been huge for us to be able to sponsor a lot of coaches on our team downline, throughout the downline, but then also have a lot of those people who didn't care anything about the business as they're getting results want to do the business just because they're having fun, because they're helping people and they're getting help themselves. They love that atmosphere. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. The culture and the family part
Right.
of what we have is well beyond what, a lot of people get in their everyday life. So having us, like our family, and this is
Right.
family, so yeah. Okay, so I have a question. How do you share the business? That's one of the questions.
Well, how do I personally share the business? I have my, I figured out my market. You know what I mean? My market is guys. Like, I have a helpgettingripped.com Facebook like page. I found my market. And I've only had my like page open for about 1.5 years now, going on 2 years. And so I share a lot. I get a lot of my contacts from that page, sharing my journey. I've done, so I had to kind of figure out like who's seen my page. So I had to be consistent on my page enough, sharing these different things about my life, about my fitness, about my nutrition, about, kind of a little bit of everything, kids, to then be able to see, okay, in the analytics of my like page, who's actually looking, who's clicking, is it men, women, what age groups, all that kind of stuff. So I really dug into that. And so I invite using event pages. We have sneak peek groups where we do a sneak peek to coaching. That's super successful for our team. And then I just do, like, guys love to be, my market of guys are guys that usually have some weight to lose, and it's all about nutrition. So I'm really heavy on my posts, on my videos, my nutrition cooking tips. I mean, that's my market. I know that they love that because my analytics in the back office of my like page tell me that. So I do more of that than anything, which then brings questions to me. And as I get questions on my messages in my like page, I get in conversation with them, and that's where I win. That's where I win a lot of conversations because, well, I hit them back with questions. What are you doing for fitness? What are you, are you eating from a meal plan? So all these things that I do with guys, they give me everything I need to then, help them and to recommend. So, which then translates into them buying a challenge pack and then joining the team. So like pages for me, I'm on Instagram. I don't ever use it. I think I use it to still pictures more than anything. But just being honest. So, I'm not really on there very much, but my personal page, my Facebook page, which I'm on a lot less, and it's a lot more family than anything. Now that Facebook has made some changes, of what they want to see on your personal page versus a business page. So I do run some Facebook ads that are targeted to my market. Once you know your market, once you know who you want to go at, who you attract, then whenever I put out an ad for somebody who wants to get in shape, gain more confidence, lose some belly fat, whatever it may be, I know that ad is going to my market because I know what my market is. That is a mega big deal. Because it's not just going out to the world, it's going out to specific people, a specific age range. I know that 6% of my like page is viewed by women and 94% men. I know that for a fact. So that's a big deal. I know my age range is between 24 and 46 men. So, I mean, if you're consistent enough on your like page, you're going to be able to get these details. And then you can go through your posts that you've previously made, right? So you could, let's say you made 100 posts over the last few months or whatever. You can go back through those posts on your analytics page in the back office of your like page, and it's going to tell you which ones are most popular. So you do more of those. You know what I mean? So it's again, that's how I get, I would say 50% of my business. And then every single video I make for my like page goes on my YouTube. And every time, because I learned how to use YouTube, every time I talk about YouTube, in my description, I have my like page. So then people find me and they click over if they have a Facebook. If not, then they just message me or leave a comment or they email me. So email, Facebook like page are how they message me. How they find me is YouTube and my like page. So that's been you. I also have a website. My website is more like a storage facility. I'm not very active on there, but if I find something, if I blog about something, I haven't gone that route. I haven't needed to go that route because my draw from finding my market is so big on my YouTube and my like page. And if you look at either one of those of mine, I've only got 10,100 or 200 likes on my like page, and I've only got on my YouTube videos, I don't have anything that's over 100,000 views. I don't have anything that's over 100,000. So it's not like I don't have like these massive, humongous pages like some coaches do, but yet my influx of people that I get is massive from that. I'm dealing with guys. Not every guy wants to hit like on helpgettingrip.com because of ego. And I've asked them, hey, yeah, I just don't really do that. Thing with me is I'm very blunt. I'm very open. I'm very like, hey, you want results? You're going to follow what I'm going to show you to do, or you're going to continue to guess and waste your money like you've been doing for the last year. Keep looking like the way you are. You came to me because you want to change. So when I'm talking to guys, it's like that and they go, oh no, I'm ready. Let's go. You know what I mean? So it's, you women have it so much easier, I think, because there's a lot less ego involved with most women, but that's how I find them. That's how they find me. And I don't run any more fit clubs, but we're working on finding a place here in Huntington Beach. It's just so expensive for any space here by the beach at all. So that's what's kind of hindering that. But fit clubs work. I mean, let's just put it this way too. And I'll keep talking, but my team all over the country runs fit clubs. My hometown, they have an amazing fit club. And a lot of coaches in other states, they run them too. So, I mean, our team still actively does that. We still teach that.
Primarily, how do you promote your fit clubs? Is it mainly just social media, or do you hand out some sort of flyer?
Yeah, they do flyers. They do, of course, social media event pages. They tag everybody on the team. So we have each city that does a fit club. They tag everybody on their team in that, to get it shared in that community. A big thing. This is something that helped us a long time ago. When I was involved in the fit clubs, is that I reached out. I got every phone number and email address to every radio station and every newscast station in my city, and I emailed them, letting them know we had a free community fit club. We weren't selling anything there, so I didn't have to worry about that. And then so every time in the beginning of a fit club, what do? You stand up in front, and you introduce yourself, and you introduce why you're here, and you enter, and you say, and so what I did was after I did that, I said, hey guys, before you leave, I have a piece of paper out front with an email address and phone numbers. It was an email address and actually it was just email address with the name of the radio stations and the news stations. I would love it for you to give an honest opinion of your thoughts of this free community fit club to them, so they know we're here and they know that, hey, we're just here to help. If you like it, will you please do it? And so I asked them to do that. A number of, I don't know how many of them did. The next week, 23 News in our town showed up and interviewed 3 people that I had no idea who they were that were working out. So they came during the workout, freaked me out, and they interviewed 3 people: a heavy-set guy who I'd never met, an older lady, and then a younger person, that was in their 20s. So they kind of got all the, I think they wanted to cover all their bases with different people, and they did amazing. I mean, I think we were doing Kempo X, and these guys were just drenched, and they said they had the time of their life, but they can't believe this is free and this and that, blah. They couldn't have been better scripted, even though it wasn't scripted, right? So the next week, they put our email out, right? So they did a story. They did like a story on our Fit Club, this interview. They put our email out. Well, we had like 200 emails of people that wanted to come. So our next Fit Club was like 75 people. Then the next one was like 175. And then it was like 250. And then it was just like, we're calling our coaches going, will you please show up? We cannot talk to all these people. It was nuts. And so we had the whole grand ballroom of a Marriott every single week full. And so it was just great connecting. Who doesn't want a bunch of people that want help showing up to the Fit Club, right? I mean, that's the kind of story that they did on it. And so I tell everybody, hey, if you're running the Fit Club, they might not come. You never know. But free community, it has to be labeled free community Fit Club. Coaches that are we didn't say Beachbody, Shakeology. We didn't say anything about anything. It was just, we want to help the community with a free community fit club. We're doing proven workouts. We're here to help guide people from all fitness levels. And you want to come work out for 45 minutes or whatever, come bring water and towel, so kept it simple and it worked. So it was pretty awesome.
Very, very cool. Well, that's eye-opening because I know that we have one in our area, but it's actually about 45 minutes away. So I've like gone to another coaches teams.
Right.
I know that I need to create my own, and my local coaches can jump on board with that.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Good stuff.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I know we're kind of running late here. So if anybody else has anything. All right, so while everybody's smiling and happy, let's take a picture. Ready? Yay, okay. Well, thank you so much. This was a very
thank you for having me on. I hope I didn't ramble too much. And, I just, the passion for the business and what we're doing, I mean, we're all here for a reason, like I said earlier, and it's just exciting to see everybody engaged and it's awesome. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And thanks everybody for getting on. And I guess that's it. Y'all have a great week.
All right. See you guys.